Hey, what's going on, people? My name is Big Mooney, and this here is a little commentary. I know, 2 videos in one day, holy shit. And we're doing some obliteration here on Lancang Dam, and I'm using the M16A4. That's a brief outline of what's going on screen, so you guys know. I like to get that out of the way early, so let's move on. This one was actually a fun game. It got kind of cut short because I went to go and like watch something. I don't know, football was on, so I had to go. But this one was actually a fun game, for once. You know, the teams were actually even, and it was competitive, somewhat. I don't know, the other team were sort of, at this point in the game, kind of all over us. As you can see, that guy just there was getting to sort of raid in on a tank. I just sort of waited for him to get out of the tank to go and run towards the target, took him out, and then my teammate goes over there and collects the bomb. But as you can see, I'm using the burst fire weapon again here in the M16A4. And honestly, I really like this gun. It's just, like I mentioned a few days ago when I was talking about burst fire weapons, they're just so accurate. I mean, at close range just there, kind of get gunned down there with an AEK. Up close like that, an AEK is going to beat you 9 times out of 10 unless you land a lucky headshot, and in that case, you'll probably both die. But in situations where you do get the drop on people, such as just there, this thing kills very, very quickly. Now, as you can see in this bit of the gameplay just here, I just sort of perched myself up here. I can see there's a bunch of enemies just sort of lurking around the area. Running down towards the bomb would be pretty much certain death, so I try and take it upon myself to thin out the numbers a little bit of the enemy team, and I do kill quite a few of them. It probably equated to like a small village or something like that of people I just took out just there, so that was quite good. And then I just jumped down and tagged down this final guy who came running around a bit late, wondering what all the commotion was. Now, but this thing, honestly, if you've not tried it out, at least sort of prolonged tried it out, I know everyone sort of unlocks a gun, they give it a couple of games and they go, or they go, oh, that was pretty decent, and then they just go back to what they always use. I would say give this gun a go if you've not really gave it the time. It's a fun gun. If you do get the drop on someone, most of the time you will kill them because, you know, you're burst firing 3 bullets, bang, 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 guy's dead most of the time. Not always, but sometimes. You know, maybe 2 bursts it might take, but that guy's gonna drop pretty damn sharpish. Obviously, like I mentioned last time, main drawback, you run out of ammo very quickly. It happens all the time. As you can see just here, I'm actually down to 8 rounds, which is not good, because that can end up getting you killed when you end up running out of bullets and you need to go and chase around your teammates like, someone please give me some bullets. Or maybe you need to shoot someone in the face, such as just here. Man, I've killed that guy about 5 or 6 times so far. And you go over like, oh, where's your gun? I need to pick this shit up, and it has to be in the most awkward position of all time, like right under the stairs just there. Can't even see what the hell is shooting at me, so screw it, I'm a bail. And I'm like, okay, so let's recuperate our thoughts just here. We have an engineer class, which is not helpful for a health situation. I do kill the guy there that was shooting at me, and I do get killed by another guy, which was unfortunate. But moving on to our next game just here. This one was played on Flood Zone, and we're playing some Rush. We are defending, and this game was not competitive, even slightly. It really wasn't. This was one of those games that I've sort of had a mini rant in the past about, where basically I join in a server and my team are getting steamrolled, and because, you know, the only reason I've been sort of put into this server is because there's a space that someone's went, screw this shit, getting steamrolled, I ain't up for that shit. And then I'm like, oh look, free space, I join and I get put in their place and I need to take the shit now, which is not good. I mean, this is only logical, but it wouldn't be a problem if it didn't happen 90% of the time. Honestly, whenever we're playing Battlefield, this happens way more often than I find a competitive game, and that is one of the big major drawbacks of not just this Battlefield game. And I don't know what happened to this chopper, just out of nowhere it was just like fucking spinning out of the sky and then a big slow explosion. But that's one of the main drawbacks, not just with Battlefield 4, but with Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2, even Battlefield 1943 or Bad Company 1, that's all pretty much all the ones I've played. And it's fucking annoying for the most part when you join in a game and it's just not competitive, and there's no real way to know that it's not competitive before you join. I know you can click on the little scoreboard, but that's not really fully representative of what's going on sometimes. I mean, it'll look like both teams are getting, you know, oh, top players have similar amount of kills, bottom players similar amount of kills, and then you join in and your team are just getting absolute butt fucked, and it's not fun whatsoever. It's just something that's just, I don't know, it takes away from the game majorly for me. But then again, in contrast of that, when the games are competitive, both teams really know what they're doing or really going for it, it can be really, really fun. It really is. Honestly, it's the best multiplayer experience I've had is when Battlefield is at its best. And it's just sadly not often enough. It's really not the case often enough. I mean, as you can see just here, my team are terrible, and this other team are just absolutely demolishing us. This is the second time I've had to disarm this MCOM station, and this is the final MCOM station. You know, my team just don't know what they're doing whatsoever. I mean, other than myself, I think one other person, maybe two other people, the rest of them just didn't seem to know what they were doing, and I don't know if it's a lack of giving a fuck. You know, they're just like, oh yeah, I'm just cruising around doing my thing, shooting people and stuff. And, you know, if I die 50 times in the process, that's okay. I don't know if that's the mentality of a lot of people, or if it's just, they're just really bad. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the greatest Battlefield player of all time. I know that. And I'll be the first to admit that. But a certain standard of player is really required for this game to be really, really fun. And this game here was an example of that not being the case. My team were absolutely horrible. I don't know, I want to ask you guys, do you guys get that issue as much as I do, where you join in a game and you're always put in a really, really bad team? It just happens way too often. Leave your comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Monster.